Hey there, Aries. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining me on my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. This is a general love reading for the sign of Aries for this first week or so of November. I hope you all are doing well. Carmela says hello. She is on her cage. She just took a bath, so she's wet right now. Sylvester's around too. He is bebopping around the house. I'm not sure where he is right now. I think he just walked into the kitchen. He's doing his daily rounds. And so, Aries, I hope you all are doing well. Here we are in November. We're going to go ahead and get started here shortly. I just want to remind my viewers this is a general love reading. Of course, that means it can apply to any kind of relationship, situation, or circumstance. Don't forget, be flexible with the energy. Don't be overly concerned about the gender of the cards or the pronouns I'm using. You can be represented by any of the characters that shows up. Parts of the reading may resonate for you, other parts may not. Every single time that I do one of these videos, my hope is that it's worthwhile, that it helps somebody out there in some way, shape, or form. I don't know what that looks like for you. Maybe it's confirming some feelings you may have, or a hunch you had about something, or maybe you feel like you get a little bit of advice, or some information regarding a situation. Whatever the case may be, I hope that the reading resonates, but I hope it's helpful to you as well. Okay, Aries. We're going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to give this first deck one more good shuffle. And then we're going to dig in and see what's in store for Aries in this first part of November. Here we go. So we're going to start off with the Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. Page of Cups, the Tower, the Magician, Justice, Page of Wands, and then we have the Two of Swords in reverse. So you've got some pretty dramatic cards out here for your first round, Aries. You've got the Three of Swords, of course, Tower, Justice, Magician. So I feel like I might be talking to somebody who's single or somebody who is a very independent person. If you're not single, you may have dealt with some heartbreak or are dealing with some heartbreak with this Three of Swords. Could be a third-party situation. Of course, always got to bring that up when we see that Three of Swords come up. It's not necessarily the case, though. Something significant has occurred or is occurring with this Tower out. It's creating some change for you. It might be something that's necessary or something that needs to happen, or maybe it's even something that you have anticipating with a positive perspective. Maybe something has caused you some grief, but it's resulted in something positive, or you're hopeful that it will. Because the Three of Swords is always kind of a brutal energy, but at the same time, you know, it's paired with the Nine of Pentacles. So to me, whatever this is indicates you might be dealing with it quite well, or maybe it's something that you anticipated, so you were prepared for. So with this Page of Wands out here, Two of Swords, you might be waiting on a message or news regarding a decision that needs to be made or has been made. So here he is. Here's Sylvester. He's done scoping the house. He's done his rounds. So now he decides it's break time on my lap. Apparently this is where he needs to spend his time off, in my lap. And Sylvester, you know, as much as I love, I could sit. The problem is I'm not a person who sits still very long. So he'll get comfortable in my lap on the couch. And I almost always think of some reason I need to get up. Even if I'm in the middle of a movie, I pause it like 15 times in an hour. But if he's in my lap, it forces me to sit still, so I'll sit there because he's in my lap. I mean, you can't disturb a sleeping cat, especially when they're as cute as he is. So he does get lap time. But when I'm doing a tarot reading, as much as I would love to have him up here, joining us, visiting, socializing, being cute, it's just too hard. He'll probably make his way up here again. We'll see. He's over there scratching his head right now. Okay, let's see what else we get for Aries. 3 of Pentacles in reverse. The Queen of Cups in reverse. Ten of Pentacles. Nine of Swords. The Lovers. Clarifying the Magician. Strength. But you've got these 4 major Arcana cards. You've got Lover, Strength, Magician, and Justice. And then the Towers over here. All in this group in the middle. Some major Arcana cards. Those are some heavy duty, really strong, positive energy coming from this set. And there's the Hierophant, and they're all in the upright too. There he is. He's back. Telling you what. And the Hangman in reverse. So lots of major Arcana cards here, Aries, which to me indicates a very significant message for you. I mean, without even getting into the meaning of the message itself, this is a message from Spirit. This is something you need to hear, something you need to know, something you need to be aware of. And I think that you probably are. Sylvester, you can't. No, I'm sorry. So, excuse me. Let's see what we have here for Aries. So this could have been a workplace situation. Feels like it could have to do with family or a group of people that you're close to. Some kind of disruption within, it feels like within a specific relationship, could be more than one, but it looks like I'm looking at a specific relationship that's caused you some grief. It could be a situation, a person that you work with or someone that you were building or something with or creating something with, or it's possible it was just a partnership in whatever form that looks. But it looks like there's been a disruption, a breakup. It could relate to a third-party situation. And someone was deeply hurt in the situation. Now, this could be your energy or somebody that you're dealing with. This Queen of Cups is the one who was wounded or hurt, the energy that's present in this reading. I'm not saying that other people weren't hurt or wounded, but this person feels like they were probably more affected by the situation than others. So this could be that third wheel person who was ousted, right? If this is a third party situation. This Queen of Cups, this Nine of Pentacles is also here. I mean, that could indicate single energy. So this could be a situation where there was partnership and now, you know, someone, again, was ousted or kind of taken out of the equation. This is something you could be feeling a lot of anxiety about if this is your energy, this Queen of Cups. It's definitely the person that I feel like I'm reading for, so I want to remind my viewers. First of all, if you're male, you can embody this energy. Queen of Cups in reverse just to me often indicates somebody who's been hurt. A victim in the situation, somebody who's kind of be passively sitting. This is a passive energy where there's some pain here. There's some grief, there's some suffering. This could also, of course, indicate somebody who's manipulative with their emotions or their energy. But with the Three of Swords, to me, this indicates the person who was hurt in this situation. So this could be your energy. And again, if you're a male, you can still embody this energy. Or this could be somebody that you're dealing with. Or you could feel like you're cross-watching for somebody that's not even really close. I don't know what this, I'm sitting here trying to make shit up. Well, you know, if you're resonating with this reading, Aries, You will know it, and you're going to know who you are. Let's just get to the point already. Let's get some more cards out here. Okay, so we have the Sun. That's a nice card to come out in this grief-stricken energy up here. So that's a little bit of positivity. And then we have Strength in the reverse this time. The Knight of Swords in reverse. Five of Cups in reverse. Queen of Wands in reverse. Seven of Pentacles. The Empress in reverse. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles, this time in reverse. So we have a Queen of Wands on the table. I think this is a different person. And I say that partly because, well, I'm getting different energy off the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands typically isn't necessarily a victim. This is somebody who gets their way, has strong opinions, can be a very aggressive energy in the way that this person will go after what they want, and they usually get what they want. This one is tied with the Strength card in the upright position, and then this Queen of Cups is tied with the Strength card in reverse. So I feel like these are two different people. And this person feels like victim in the situation. And this person, to a certain extent, is with these major arcana cards down here. A victor in the sense that if you're looking at, you know, a situation like that, someone who's losing out, someone who's gaining something out of a situation. I feel like this Queen of Wands put a lot of energy into something. This could be a situation where she put a lot of energy into a relationship, a connection, put a lot of time into something, and this feels justified for her. She put in the work. She got what she got what she was aiming to get out of the situation. It feels like right now that's how it's coming off, kind of like a two-person reading where I'm looking at, and this feels like it could be a third-party situation, but right now two people are represented. And again, we do have this Ten of Pentacles out here twice. This could indicate a disruption within a family unit. So this could be a family connection. And this set of cards right now, at least to me, it's with this Empress energy out here, which may represent both of these queens. It's kind of like, well, you know, you've got your opinion, I've got my opinion. We're both seeing things differently, and based on our perspectives, you're wrong and I'm right. Both parties feel like they're saying something to that effect with this set of cards. I feel like this could be a family tie. This Queen of Wands and Queen of Cups, more than anything, I'm getting that. But if it's not a family connection, it could be somebody that you're very, very close to. With the Lovers card, this is a significant relationship. This is doesn't have to be romantic or intimate. This can just indicate somebody who was meant to be on your path, somebody who's meant to be in your life, somebody that you have a spiritual connection with, somebody that you know. Sylvester, I gotta put you down. I'm sorry, you gotta go. The Lovers to me indicates one of those connections where, you know, no matter when they show up in your life or how long they're in your life, they're significant because you have some life lessons to learn with this individual through this individual. You have life lessons to teach this individual. You're mutually learners or mutually teachers in a situation, if you know what I mean. It's a relationship meant to be in your life for the sake of spiritual growth in some way, shape, or form. And of course, that can include pain. You know, we learn through mistakes. We learn through heartaches. That's when we learn the most. Things that are the hardest to deal with are the things we learn the most from. So I feel like it's that kind of connection. Let's get some more cards out here for Aries and see what else we get. I feel like I'm rambling a little bit today, Aries. So if you're sitting there thinking, just get to the point, I'm sorry. I'm kind of in one of those moods, apparently. So we've got the Two of Pentacles, Seven of Cups in reverse, Ace of Swords, Eight of Pentacles in reverse, Ten of Swords in reverse, Two of Swords again in the upright this time, Justice again in the upright again with the Hierophant. And then we have the Two of Wands in reverse. So I am kind of getting one of those big messages, I have to admit, with all these major arcana cards. It feels like one of those kind of big picture messages coming from Spirit. Like, this connection between these two queens is a significant connection. And there's an indication here that it's time to address what happened between these two. It's time to establish the why regarding what happened between these two. I feel separation. I feel like there's been an ending of sorts, but it feels like there's something to be reconsidered here. And I think this Queen of Wands feels to me like she has the upper hand in the situation. In other words, whatever occurred between these two, again, and I am not passing judgment in any way, shape, or form. So I want you to know, both of these queens are dealing with some shadow energy. They're both in reverse. But someone ended up being the winner, and that's this Queen of Wands, and someone's on the losing end, and that's this Queen of Cups in reverse. Because of that, the current standing of the relationship, this Queen of Wands is in a position right now to revisit what occurred in the past. And there needs to be a decision here, because this Lovers, Ten of Pentacles, relationship connection feels like there's more to do. There's more work to be done. So this, if there was an ending here, it wasn't a done deal ending. There's more work to be done here. So this this probably feels uncomfortable for both parties, but there is this indication in the cards that it's time to look at this again. Figure out why both parties went their separate ways and what really happened. What's the why behind the event? And this Queen of Wands is in a position to initiate a reevaluation. So, what I think that looks like is this could be initiating a conversation, contact, communication. That's always, you know, an obvious way to revisit something, reconnect, and figure out what happened. But this also could be where this queen takes some kind of, especially with the Queen of Wands, maybe she needs to initiate some kind of action or do something. It could be communication in conjunction with actually taking action in some way, especially with her clarifying this Magician. Like there's this indication like she has the power now to revisit the situation. So I'm going to get this last round out, Aries, and we'll see what else we can get from these cards. It's a pretty interesting reading. It feels very general. It feels like it could apply to a lot of different situations. So unless I'll see if there's some specific details I can pull out for you that some of you may resonate with and others may not after I get this last round out. So we have the Empress in reverse, and now we have the Emperor in reverse. That's come out. Page of Cups in reverse again. The Knight of Cups in reverse. The Queen of Cups has come out again in reverse. Six of Pentacles in reverse. Death. Four of Cups. And then we have the Five of Cups again. I think the Five of Cups is out here. Maybe not. No, it's not. Seven of Cups in reverse. Four of Cups, Five of Cups in reverse. Okay, so we have an Emperor in reverse on the table. I do believe this represents a third party, or and this could be more than a single person, but this does feel like a three-person situation. So this Emperor in reverse is definitely part of the past, part of the reason behind the conflict between these two queens, or the distance, or the ending. The thing is, this Emperor in the situation, whoever this third person is definitely associated with what's occurring here, or what has occurred between these two queens. But this person doesn't have any influence over the situation. I hope that makes sense. So they truly are like a third party. And now what that looks like, I'm not sure. But the reading is about these two queens. So I just want to let you know that this third person did show up. But the energy is is an energy of someone who's just kind of disconnected to a certain extent. Of course, they're affected by the situation, and they're probably influential within the situation. But the power this person, I think, has in this present moment to change the situation or reflect on what occurred between these two queens is less significant. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so this Queen of Cups is concerned, her biggest concern is that there isn't enough emotional investment left in this connection for it to make a difference. It doesn't matter how the type of connection that this is, how tight this connection is, what kind of relationship this is. There is an emotional disconnect on a level that has that's trumped this. right? It's overshadowing this, the connection itself. So let me give you an example. This is one of those connections where, at least in the past, it was so significant that it was a ride or die type connection, right? The person you know that you are going to the grave with, the person that will, at your beck and call, the person that your ride or die is somebody who, I got your back, you've got mine, but in the extreme sense. This is the type of person that if you're in a situation where you're experiencing some kind of drama or tragedy or tower type situation, this is the type of relationship where you can go to that person or contact that person, or you just know that person's going to be there for you, right? That's the type of relationship I feel like this at least was at one time. This emotional disconnect, the emotional factor, whatever occurred between these two, there's that emotional piece that there's such a deep wounding, at least for this person. There's such a deep wounding that this Queen of Cups is like, you know what, even if presented with the opportunity, I'm not sure I could do the work that's needed in order to repair this connection. I don't know if I can get there on an emotional level. That's how this person feels. Can I heal? There's that Five of Cups. It was there. I knew it was out here. I don't know if I can heal on that level to reanalyze what happened here. So what's interesting too is that this ending that occurred within this relationship, this disconnect, it wasn't the same for both parties. It looked very different, or the perspective of the ending was different for these two. So for example, let's say that there was a third party situation and there was a blowout between these two queens. Whatever ending occurred, let's say someone stormed out and said, never talk to me again, slammed the door and they were out, and you have, they ghosted you, disconnected on social media, and however that looks, and then stopped communicating. One person may have looked at that and said, that's final, there's no coming back from this. This ending is definitive for me. It is an ending. And the other person's like, they're just mad. They just got to blow off some steam. I'll give them their space for a few weeks, a few months, a few years, whatever that looks like. I'll give them their space, and they'll come back around. I just need to give them the time they need to come to terms with what happened here, and everything's going to be okay. So I think the ending looks different for both of these parties, for both of these queens. One, and I think it's possibly this Queen of Wands. I think this Queen of Wands feels like there's still an opening there. There's still a connection. It's not over for this Queen of Wands. There's still a connection. This Queen of Cups, on the other hand, is hurt on a more deeper level. Is emotionally wounded on a deeper level than this Queen of Wands. So the ending looks different for these two. And the possibility for, a reconnect or revisiting or reevaluating or analyzing what really occurred looks different for these two as well. And it's hard to say because each party is coming at it from a different perspective. It isn't necessarily indicated in the cards who's right and who's wrong. For example, a lot of times you'll see a message connected with somebody who might be tied to a greater level of responsibility within a conflict, right? They were at fault for the ending or the argument or the conflict, whatever that looks like, because they were dwelling in some shadow energy and the other person was not. So you can kind of see in the cards who's right and who's wrong. Sometimes you can see that. In this case, that is not what's going on here. Because each party has such a polar opposite perspective of the other that it's not, you can't determine who's right and who's wrong. What you can say, based on what I'm seeing in the cards, Aries, is that there is a significant lesson that has been learned because of the situation, but I think the lesson's been different for both parties, for all parties involved. If it's you know, this Emperor in reverse is obviously a significant individual connected to the situation. So this, you know, the Emperor, although the energy is not super strong in this reading, I'm sure that person learned something out of the situation as well. And I apologize for, I think the lighting's okay, but the clouds are moving over the sun, so that's why you saw that shadow shift in the lighting. Okay, so I'm going to, I don't know why I'm cutting these cards. I've already cut them once. I'm going to get a Dreams of Gaia tarot card for Aries, and we're going to wrap this up. I was noticing, too, I'm doing really good on time. This reading felt like it was going long, and the message is very interesting. But I felt like I was rambling. I guess I was doing okay for time. So let's get a card for Aries. See if we can't get anything else significant. So there's a couple of things here too. I just want to reiterate this Queen of Wands, for whatever reason, is on the winning side of this dispute, whatever you want to call winning. Okay, I'm just using winning as a general term. By winning, I mean there's something. There was something that positive that came out of whatever occurred between these two and whatever ending they had. And vice versa for this Queen of Cups. I'm going to take this card. Which means this Queen of Wands is in a position of kind of having an upper hand. She's the one who could initiate contact, conversation. She's the one who could take action to revisit the situation. And I feel like this Queen of Wands is also the one who would be more inclined to do so, because this Queen of Cups is the one who I feel like was kicked to the curb, for example. If she doesn't feel like there's an opening, she's not going to initiate a reconnect with this Queen of Wands. This Queen of Wands has control with regard to that particular situation. The question is, I think, whether or not that's even a reasonable expectation. And I don't see an outcome one way or the other, Aries, I have to admit. So this is going to be different for everybody. This will be a situation where you prefer this relationship stay in its current form, which is a disconnect, an ending. And for many of you, of course, there's going to be that opposite outcome. You do initiate some conversation, you connect. So we have the King of Air. This is interesting. King of Air. I did not at all expect this to come out. So the King of Air is the King of Swords, of course, in your traditional Rider-Waite tarot. Has a very similar meaning to your traditional meanings of the King of Swords. I will read it out of the book anyway. I'm going to reserve commenting on this, but I'll just give you a quick overview. The King of Swords is typically an energy of somebody who has a level of authority. This could be somebody who's in charge, somebody who makes decisions for others. This is somebody who's highly intelligent, somebody who has a clear understanding of circumstances, situations. This is somebody who communicates well, is articulate, will not lead you astray, doesn't mince his words, deals with facts and information. This could represent your higher self, could represent, spirit. I turned right to it. I love when that happens. I mean, it's a paperback book. It's got 307 pages. And I opened to page 229, King of Swords. I'm just saying, was it coincidence? Was it just chance? I don't know. Can't answer that question. Okay, Aries, let's go ahead and see what the King of Air has to say. Here we go. Make sure it doesn't glare. The King of Air is a just and fair leader with a stern and commanding presence. He can be imposing and somewhat intimidating due to his formal manner, but his stern countenance is tempered by a compassion born of his spiritual belief. He is an educated man with vast knowledge. He is also a wise man who has learned from every life experience. When he speaks, everybody listens. He is also a disciplined man who can at times be uncompromising and rigid, as he has a very fixed belief system. He cannot be corrupted or easily swayed. He believes rules are made to be followed and should not be broken. The laws of the land were made to keep people safe, and he believes those who break the law should understand the consequences of their actions. Yes, he can choose to show compassion in passing his judgment. However, he will not compound the wrong by failing to bring a wrongdoer to account. His judgment is fair and final and is delivered in accordance to the law and without emotional impediment. When the King of Air appears in your reading, it may represent a need to seek legal counsel or financial advice. Is there a point of law or a money matter that you need to have clarified by someone who is not emotionally invested in achieving a particular outcome? If not a matter of law or a financial matter, it may be something to do with rules and regulations that has you concerned, some sort of infringement on your personal rights. Seek out someone with expertise in the area of concern. You need to know where you stand. The King of Air is a no-nonsense person. He is direct and to the point, but uninterested in debate or argument for argument's sake. You may find yourself in a position where you need to embody the same behavior. Don't be drawn into an argument at this time if all you are going to do is repeat yourself. Present your case, be direct and to the point, and then don't be drawn into further debate. If you have said that all that needs to be said at this point, any further form of response is a waste of time and energy. If you find yourself dealing with somebody who embodies the nature of the King of Air, be advised that they are not usually somebody who will change their mind, nor are they somebody who is going to change their ways with ease. Change is possible, but on their own terms and at their own pace. If you attempt to push a King of Air type to change their mind, opinion, or behavior, you are courting conflict. If you are romantically involved with one, you might just have to accept them for who they are because they are always going to be forceful and a little dogmatic. As a parent, he is always going to be a strict and rule-oriented father. He will demand respect and that those who live under his roof follow his rules. His rules, however, are usually fair and do more to protect than to harm. So if you find yourself at loggerheads, take a moment to ask yourself if it might be you who needs to look at their actions. Are you pushing boundaries because those boundaries need to be shifted, or are you pushing them just because they are there? Interesting. Okay, so a couple thoughts went through my head as I was reading that, Aries. First of all, because it's a masculine card with masculine energy, it could absolutely represent this this Emperor in reverse that came out here. I said before, I thought this person obviously is in the reading because it's a significant individual to the event or what occurred between these other two. But this could also represent maybe this person coming in and acting as a mediator, keeping things at a level playing field for both parties. So this could indicate, someone who's actually a lawyer or someone who can act in that manner for these two queens. Okay, I didn't really want you to land on my head because you're still wet from your bath, but that's fine. Okay, so are you going to be nice? She's been a little bit moody lately. She's bitten me for no reason 3 separate times on 3 separate days. Once in the nose, once in the chin, and once in the neck, all while sitting here. I had just taken her out of her cage. So she's been moody, and I've been a little bit wary of keeping company with her because she's just having one of those, whatever. Let's get on to Aries. Let's move on with this. Okay, so that could be this energy. This could also indicate a whole separate party, someone who is involved in the legal system. We do have Justice out here twice with the Hierophant. So this could indicate someone who's going to help out with some kind of whatever that looks like for these two queens. And it could also represent a spirit guide. Someone that you're seeking help from on a spiritual level. If that's not, let's put you on your cage, please. Just stay there. someone who has a neutral perspective and can help you out in that kind of way. Especially if you're this Queen of Wands, because I feel like this Queen of Wands could be the one who's considering taking action in some way. Okay, so I think there's a lot to this reading. It was really interesting, Aries. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I would love to hear your story if you resonated and you want to, give a little snippet of what's going on. I love reading those. Probably one of my favorite types of comments, so I can see how these readings apply to people. It's definitely validating for me, but it's also enjoyable. So if you'd like to leave a comment if it resonated, that's always appreciated. Of course, give me a like, subscribe if you enjoyed the reading. Thanks so much, Aries, for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Take care.